Mic check. Can you guys hear us? Robbie,
Yeah, mic check one, mic check two. Thumbs up in the chat if you can hear us.
Taylor,
Mic check one, mic check two.
Norris.
Hello.
All right, let us know in the chat if that's working. We'll get started here shortly. Two.
And we are live. Welcome on in, ladies and gentlemen. Bienvenidos, señoras y señores. This is, I guess, it's what's going to be the NAIA Ball podcast. It is the end of our regular season. The postseason is over as well, and we are wrapping up the 2024 season right here, right now, on this live segment. For the first time ever, the NAIA Ball Awards are coming to you live here via YouTube. We are absolutely thrilled to be with you. I'm Robbie Gutierrez, longtime host of the NAIA Ball podcast, not the current host, but the longtime host of the NAIA Ball podcast. And I am absolutely excited to be here. You can follow me at RobG1063 on Twitter. Joining me and at the helm of the controls is Connor Darnell. Connor, wave to the good people and tell them how to follow you.
Hey, you guys can follow me on, I guess, X at GotDunks21 and pretty much everywhere GotDunks21. Man behind the controls today, so let's see what we can mess up.
It's also doubling as air traffic control there for Connor Darnell.
Coming to you live from the helicopter.
There you go. Also joining us from the state of Oklahoma is Taylor Thomas. Taylor, how can the people follow you?
On X as well. That still feels weird to say, but underscore Taylor Thomas 14. Unlike Connor, they didn't let me fly the helicopter tonight. I just talk about baseball in the microphone. So ready to do some more of that tonight. Hopefully Connor doesn't kill us.
There we go. We're trying. Connor's got the controls here, so we're all scared for our lives, but we trust him on this one. And last but not least, a host of the NAIA Ball podcast as well. Joining us from the deep unknown, otherwise known as Indiana, is Tyler Norris. Tyler, what's going on?
What's going on, guys? Glad to be here. A little under the weather today, but we're going to power through. You can find me on X at TNOR46. Don't really post too much on there, but a lot of Yankee content as of late. So
That sounds absolutely awful. Thank you, though, for sharing the class. Tyler, Taylor, Connor. Guys, we are absolutely excited that y'all are here today. First and foremost, we want to thank our sponsors. We definitely need to thank Brock at Play In Sports, who did so much of our content this year, helped us start a website. I mean, really, that is something that if you've been here at NAIA Ball for a long time with us, that Cody and I had always wanted, even before Connor was even in the fold. It was something that we wanted for a long time. And Brock was able to help us with that this year. So Brock at Playing Sports, check out Playing Sports. If you're having camps, if you're a coach, an assistant coach, anything like that, please, please, please support the people who support the brand. which includes the Show Me League. They were a huge part of our adventures this year, and we are super thankful to them for being a sponsor of NAIA Ball. Will from Netting Pros for sponsoring all of our top 25 content, whether it be, graphics for our media poll. This year was the first year of the media poll, or 10 to Lewiston. And then, of course, EJ from Aeroform. Without him, we don't get to ABCA and see. For myself, see a lot of y'all for the first time in a long time. And for these guys, meet a lot of y'all for the first time. It was absolutely exciting. And we are super thankful to EJ and Aeroform. So again, check out Playing Sports, the Show Me League, Netting Pros, and Aeroform Athletics, especially if you need a pitching mound, a BP mound, something that rolls away. I mean, they're working on the home run derby platform right now. So that is something that's absolutely awesome. They do that. They do platforms for a lot of teams around the nation. Be sure to check them out. Connor, let's get us going with the final of the first year media poll. And let's take a look at what we've got here in this last media poll of the season and how our group of voters voted to end the year. So when we look at this here, we will see that, of course, Hope International is going to be number one.
Are you waiting for it to pop up on the screen?
I'm waiting for it to pop up.
There we go. It should be up there now.
So it's up on their screens. Thankfully, it is for us here in this group chat. It is not, but the media poll is up there for y'all. As y'all can see, Taylor is number 25. Number 24 is going to be the Drovers of Science and Arts of Oklahoma. 23 is Loyola. 22 is Kaiser. 21 is going to be Concordia, Nebraska. 20 is Jessup. Columbia at 19. Tabor at 18. Missouri Baptist at 17. Faulkner at 16. Central Methodist 15. Mid-America Christian 14. IU Southeast at 13. William Carey at 12. Weber International at 11. Lewis Clark State at 10. Kansas Wesleyan at 9. Arizona Christian at 8. LSU Shreveport at 7. Cumberland's Kentucky at 6. Southeastern starts us off in the top 5. Reinhardt finishes number 4. Georgia Gwinnett finishes at 3. Tennessee Wesleyan finishes at number 2, coming in second in the nation. And then, of course, winning our poll and, of course, the national champion receiving all first place votes is Hope International out of Fullerton, California. Guys, we all had different ballots on this. What were some of the surprises for y'all when this poll came out?
Who wants to take it first? Taylor, you got?
Yeah, just looking into the top 8 here, the top 10, if you will. Everyone will see that it's not the exact finish as the final 10 there in Lewiston at the World Series. Looking at IU Southeast coming in at 13, William Carey right there above him, but Lewis and Clark State still finishing in the top 10. I thought Kansas Wesleyan, really no surprise, honestly, to me that they finished there in the top 10, coming in at the 9 spot. Broke a lot of records and set a lot of milestones there in Salina, Kansas this year. Coach Neely and that bunch did. So really great to see them breaking through the barrier and earning that first trip to Lewiston. And then looking at the top 5, obviously Reinhardt solidified themselves in the top 4, taking down Southeastern in that regular season series. And then, of course, finishing in the Final 4 there in Lewiston, and what was an incredible World Series to watch. And Hope International and Tennessee Wesleyan both coming out of the losers bracket, winning a lot of elimination games to get to where they were, and very deserving of that 1 spot, or the Royals, the 2024 champions.
Not too many surprises for me here. Looking at this poll, I can say probably speak for all of us here when I say that we all had this like these teams in our top 25, maybe just kind of scattered across our top 25, but I think these are all probably the teams that everybody had, so not really too many surprises for me.
Yeah, just kind of looking at this, there's some teams that were in the top 10 all year. Something that comes to mind, Central Methodist, they were in the top 10 all year, dropped down to 15. I know a lot of people will comment on this and saying put respect on this team, but it's about how you play that last month of the year. Postseason matters, obviously, so I can't wait to see the comments on when we post this tomorrow. So this should be a good one.
Super excited. Super excited.
Excited.
I did not have this exact top 10 as it went. I did have, I want to say, at least IU Southeast a little bit higher. There were two teams that finished in this poll that I didn't vote for, without getting into specifics of who those programs are. But there were two programs that in this top 25 that I didn't vote for. What I tried to do more than anything in my poll was take a look at who was in the final 45 teams in the nation. And just by process of elimination, definitely wanted to take a harder look at the teams who went 2-2 or 3-2 in their conference respective opening round tournaments as well, and just not reward teams for having great years and going 0-2 in opening round. It's hard to look at, it's hard to judge. This was one of the harder things we've done this year, and so that's definitely a reasoning. The first time we've ever really looked at all of this stuff and had all of this in here. I'm super excited now that we have 1 year of experience under our belts from media poll in year one. We have a better idea of how we want to do things differently next year. Super sad we're going to lose Taryn, because Taryn's the only guy that would actually release his ballot. Shotgun not hit. And, it's one of those things that Taryn did a great job at the Lewiston Tribune. He's moving on to bigger things. He's going to write about the Seattle Mariners, which is going to be fantastic for him. So, we're going to look to switch up how we do this media poll a little bit, but we're still super excited to continue with this. Guys, our year in review before we get into awards. I mean, we've had a really great year. We've opened up a website. We had a NAIA ball team store that was absolutely pretty awesome, from my vantage point on how things went. Y'all, we got to all go to ABCA. We got to all stay in the Westin for at least one night, so that was fun. We've been at ABCA. Y'all went to the Cajun. I'm hoping to do the Cajun next year. So I mean, this was a really fun year. Quite a few of y'all got to go to conference tournaments, regular season games. I went to one series all season. I feel like everybody else did 10 times more than I did this year.
Yeah, it was a fun year, getting to do these different experiences like ABCA was a blast, I had people come up to the booth and I had no idea who they were, but that's kind of the cool part. But no, getting to do things like that, going out to the Cajun, I'm hoping we can kind of maybe get another event in there. Well, that's a whole nother conversation for off-season talk, but yeah, just all these experiences were awesome, and operating as a unit with everybody in the big group now, it's been fun, especially with our interns. I mean, that went awesome. So
yeah, shout out to Milan, who was a huge help to me this year.
And shout out to Max, who helped me quite a bit, and I can't wait to build off this year. And there's so many cool things that we want to do, and this was just a small step in what we want to do. And from my perspective, it was a great year, and I'm looking forward to next year already.
Yeah, this was a really good year. A lot of firsts, obviously, like the website, like Robbie mentioned. We can throw in the live show too as another first, and something we're hoping to continue moving forward. But really good year as a whole. Obviously, I know prior to this year, last year was a little odd, Robbie running the one-man show, but now we're back here in full force, and it was a quick year, but it was a really great year, and I think we build it off a lot moving forward into the coming years.
Yeah, just to touch on that too, like you guys really all said. I mean, the first full year with us all on the team, me and Tyler, especially first year on the podcast, doing that and that continuing its success all year long. ABCA, of course, the Cajun. I know me and Connor had a nice road trip. He got to go to Buc-ee's for the first time and try some beaver nuggets. So that was a cool experience to see that too as well. But really, the ABCA and the Cajun, getting out to to all of these games, having the access that we do now, and year one with the brand. Just excited for the future that is, and the Cajun hopefully in 2025. I know it's always an electric atmosphere down there with some great food, as us three got to experience. So I can't wait for that personally. That one's circled on my calendar. Can't wait for some more baseball already, and we're only about 2 weeks removed from the season. And
No, absolutely agree. It was a great year. We made a lot of big strides, and I have no doubt that, this is exactly where we're supposed to be as a brand moving forward, continuing on what our founder Cody Butler built, and continuing his legacy, and moving forward with our sport and our game, and trying to make this the best it can be in all aspects. For new awards for next year, I'll hit on this really quickly. New awards next year, we are going to have a new award and a two-way player of the year award, which will be a separate award from our player of the year, but this will be a two-way player of the year. And we have a few other different awards in the works. I think, awards are always a great thing. If you all ever have ideas for awards, we'd love to hear them within reason. But, if it's definitely something we can do, we'd love to do it. And take a look at it. So we're wide open to hearing that out. But let's get into the reason that everyone is actually here, and let's get going. Connor, you ready to roll here?
Let's do this thing.
Let's get after it. So our first award is going to be our Freshman of the Year award. The 2024 NAIA Ball Freshman of the Year is... Was I supposed to pause for dramatic effect there? I didn't read the cue cards
I
correctly.
think that
I'm
works.
sorry.
My teleprompter's not working, but I got it.
Yeah, okay. It just says pause for dramatic effect. I'm pausing for dramatic effect. Again, this is the first time we've
It's
done
on
this.
screen now. Go ahead and rip it.
All right, our 2024 Freshman of the Year is Matthew Rhodes from Concordia University in Nebraska. Taylor, you've got more on him.
Yeah, Rhodes in his freshman season really contributed well to what is already known as a successful Concordia, Nebraska Bulldog squad with the likes of Jacob Bransky and Jaden Quinn. But Rhodes was a two-way star for the Bulldogs, 293 average, 16 home runs, 53 RBIs. Also on the mound, contributed as well in 22 innings, a 2.45 ERA with 20 strikeouts, and a 3-1 record in 6 appearances over 6 starts. Rhodes really showed up well, especially in that opening round that we saw down there in Shreveport. And as we all know, with this Bulldog squad, they can hit the long ball, and 16 homers as a freshman. Not only that, and getting on the mound too, and giving the Bulldogs some great length there late in the season is a big reason why they continue to reach new heights. And looking for a really exciting sophomore year from the left-hander.
Absolutely. So congratulations to Matthew Rhodes. He is the 2024 NAIA Ball Freshman of the Year out of Concordia, Nebraska. That is a proud program, especially over the last several years, that is doing nothing but looking to improve and improve and improve. They're going to need some definite, they're going to have to replace some bats, and that's going to be a bat that's going to help a lot. Anytime you can get a guy that's got that amount of home runs as a freshman, as well as the RBIs, and then able to do it on the mound as well, it's going to be a huge help on the year. Connor, we're going to move on here to our relief pitcher of the year. The 2024 relief pitcher of the year is John Snyder out of William Carey University. Tyler, go ahead and tell us a little bit more about our reliever of the year.
Absolutely. So the senior right-hander from Alabama, just a phenomenal year. He had 24 appearances, all in relief, with 13 saves on the year. He threw 30 innings this year, only allowed 4 earned runs. That pitched himself to a 1.2 ERA. John was striking out over a batter an inning. He ended the year with 44 strikeouts on the year, which, if you're counting, is a 13 K per nine. Finished with a whip under 1 as well. So just a really dominating year for John in the William Carey squad there, and not really great way to end your senior campaign there.
Absolutely massive, massive, massive year for John. I mean, this was a stacked group. We did not release finalists for this, but Chad Pike was in here, Garrett Hill was in here, and then Chipper Korbacher were in here, but also Graham Kellum from St. Francis, Indiana, were in here. Guys, this was a loaded group, and when it came down to, really, I feel like it was Snyder versus Pike in this one. What it came down to was the amount of innings for Snyder, 4 and a third more innings, but the strikeouts, a difference of 20 on the strikeouts. The K per nine had over almost a 5 difference. The whip was just slightly higher in more outs and batters faced, and just one save off. This was a tough one to decide, but ultimately John Snyder is taking this one home. So congratulations to him. Final thoughts on reliever of the year before we get into our next category?
I mean, just incredible years from, like you said, we couldn't put out a finalist because, I mean, it was just insanely close. But, just looking at it, he tossed roughly 4 more innings and gave up the same amount of earned runs. I mean, they both went out there, did their job, and, I can speak for this being a closer in my playing years, but, hats off to them. They went out there, did their job. I was able to get in there, sneak out, and snipe a couple wins, get a couple saves here and there. So I know people are going to compare the numbers on that, but I sniped 4 wins in my senior year, so I don't know how much that would have factored into stats like this. But overall, just incredible years from them, and there's some more awards. We'll get into that at the end of this whole thing, but don't be disappointed too much.
You sniped those wins or you stole them?
A little bit of both. A little bit of both.
So with that, we will go ahead and move into our next category, which is assistant coach of the year. Before we get into assistant coach of the year, I do want to put on record, we had the most debate about reliever of the year. There was not as much debate for the Lou Brock player of the year and pitcher of the year award, as well as coach of the year. We had the most debate for our reliever of the year award. So that was for us as a group of 4. We did have an unofficial third-party tiebreaker. It did not need to go to him. We don't show you what we looked at, but I can tell you we get into some sabermetrics for our categories, and these guys, we look at a little bit of a deeper, total, granular look at their years. And so that was one of the bigger debates that we had. Assistant coach of the year, Connor, we're ready to move on to that one.
Drum
in our
roll,
2024. Please. What's up?
Drum roll, please.
There we go. Our 2024 assistant coach of the year is Jared Martin from the University of the Cumberlands in Kentucky. He was nominated by his head coach, Brad Shelton, who says that ever since he hired him, they have not been out of the top 25 since 2010. He's a top recruiter, and I think we've seen that in the success that UC has had, not just over the last 2 years where they've made the World Series, but in the last several years that we have done this. They've gone to 7 straight opening rounds, 2 straight appearances in the World Series. He's an alumnus of the program that loves his program. And, Brad definitely feels that his program would not be where it is without him. When we looked at all of our nominations, this was another tough category. Ultimately, it was chosen that Jared would be our assistant coach of the year. So congratulations to him for winning that award. It's an absolutely big time award. They were fantastic this season, and that was really exciting for UC to get back to Lewiston and then have success in Lewiston this year. I know last year was a little bit of maybe the first year jitters. Totally different story this year. They were a lot of fun to watch. Connor, if you want to throw up our finalists for our Coach of the Year award. This is the first award that we have that we will show you our entire list of finalists here.
It's up there now.
Perfect. So our finalists for this award in no order, and I'm not going off the order on the broadcast right now that you're looking at, but it is going to be Brett Neffendorf from Indiana Southeast, Jonathan Burton from Reinhardt, Joe McDonald from Arizona Christian, Billy Berry from Tennessee Wesleyan, Bill Neal from Kansas Wesleyan, and Larry Mahoney from Hope International. Guys, just a really quick blurb about one or two of these coaches from each of y'all would be fantastic.
Yeah, kind of going back to, I was kind of talking a little bit earlier, you know, some people have Lewiston experience, some people got Lewiston experience for the first time this year. Hats off to Brett Neffendorf, really, you know, being its first year as a head coach and taking the team to Lewiston. You know, that's, how much can you say about that? I mean, that's quite the year, you know, step into the head shoes, and then you take the team to Lewiston and reach your goal. Obviously, it's to win it, but, you know, that's a pretty awesome milestone for them.
I'll speak to Bill at Kansas Wesleyan here. I've had the pleasure of watching him kind of build that program the last basically 5 years or so, ever since I was at McPherson. And it's really no surprise for them to end up in Lewiston. Finally, the way that program has been trending, especially since my tenure there. He's built a really good team over there, and he has them ready to go year in, year out. You know, whenever they lose a lot of key pieces, he replaces with better pieces. So he's just another great season from Bill and the boys there from Salina.
Yeah, and same goes for Coach Burton and Coach McDonald from Reinhardt and Arizona Christian. Both programs battled a lot of adversity this season, and to get to where they were, both really strong representatives there in Lewiston. We saw Reinhardt make an incredible run, and of course Arizona Christian going 2-0 and taking down Southeastern. And the week before, just taking down Lewis and Clark State there in the opening round, and then of course Billy Berry and Coach Mahoney going after it in the national championship game. We talked about it all year, but Tennessee Wesleyan didn't really look like that blue blood early on, and the turnaround that the Bulldogs had, and gives credit to Coach Berry and the culture that he's instilled there, and just an incredible overall year by all six of these guys, really.
You know, it's a special group. Brett's going to do a great job at IU Southeast. There's no doubt in my mind that he's going to be able to make that program just continue to be in the national spotlight like they have been. Maybe they're not, you know, a super powerhouse yet. They've been on the cusp of getting to Lewiston multiple times. They've been to Lewiston twice now, second time I think in the last 4 or 5 years. You know, this is a program that is really good, and they need to do whatever they can to keep Brett there in at IU Southeast. Joe McDonald has been talking about getting to Lewiston for a long time. It was great to see them do it. They did it in the toughest of environments too, having to leave Arizona, travel north to unfamiliar territory to Harris Field. That did not let the moment get too big for them. They won the opening round tournament, and then on top of that, you know, they did exactly what they were supposed to do to come out in the first game of the World Series. They have to go back home. They did not get to stay in Lewiston. From my understanding, they had to go back home, travel back to Harris Field, and then you know, stay focused and play again in what was a massive game against Southeastern, which was really an iconic move for them in one of the bigger wins. When you look at Jonathan Burton and what he's been able to do over his entire coaching career, just absolutely special. One of 3 active coaches to take 2 different programs to the World Series, 7 all-time. He joins the list. He becomes the 7th all-time to join that list, and is a very prestigious list. You know, and the year that Reinhardt had, and being able to take a start that maybe is not what they wanted and turn it into a really impressive World Series run. Billy Berry is Billy Berry. It speaks for himself. Guy's a superstar. He's a future Hall of Famer at this level. He is a guy that is a great coach, does some great things, creates great players who become great people. Billy Berry has done a fantastic job. This was a Tennessee Wesleyan team that I did not think was a World Series contender. Sure enough, as the season went on, you started to see more and more and more of what you expect from them in Tennessee Wesleyan as a blue blood year in, year out. You saw that. Billy was absolutely, and his team was absolutely special this year. We talked about it in the article for Baseball America. It's that quiet confidence that they carried. It was not that they had a huge stick, any big hitters, they had a great arm that did not start a lot of games this year. But they were exactly what you wanted them to be. They were exactly what they wanted themselves to be. They were quiet, confident in what they did. Bill Neal is a guy that holds a special place for me. If you don't know, Kansas Wesleyan had the largest donation to Cody Butler's funeral expenses. They, as a team, decided to make a donation to that. Bill holds a special place in my heart, as well as the Butler family, my family, Connor and his family, and they are a team that we were excited to see do well this year. They were a team that went to the opening round tournament final last year. We need a better name for that. I don't want to say the R word because I don't want us to get in trouble. But they went to the opening round tournament final last season. They got to Lewiston this year. They are a team, like Tyler said, is going to be dangerous moving forward and constantly in the eye of what can they do this year? What can they do this year? And then finally, Larry Mahoney, what can you say about HIU? I thought last year that was the team. And then this year's team comes out and beats the pants off of that one. And they dogpiled at the end of the season. They're the national champion. We have actually never crowned a head coach who won the national championship as our coach of the year. But we've also never had a head coach that went 5 straight elimination games and won a national title. So, Connor, with that, our national coach of the year is our national champion. It is Larry Mahoney. And sure enough, Connor, I don't know if he's here or not, but Larry Mahoney is supposed to be joining the show here shortly. And we would love to have him in if he is ready and waiting in the waiting room. There he is right there, the national champion head coach, Larry Mahoney. We'll wait for him to make sure he is all set up, but he is our national coach of the year for NAIA ball. Coach, congratulations and welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here. I really appreciate it. It's an honor.
We are absolutely thrilled to have you. I guess my first question, guys, I'll kick us off. Tell us just a little bit about the experience for you, what it was like in that winner-take-all national championship game and coming down to the final out, and it becoming a reality.
It wasn't easy, that's for sure. There's a lot of good teams there, a lot of good players. Losing that first game and having the experience of being there in 2017, I was just trying to keep my team in a good level mindset. And they did a heck of a job.
Yeah, no, they definitely did. Tyler, Taylor, Connor, please, whenever you feel free. I'm going to go one more time here, though. But, Coach, and that's the biggest thing, is you were there as an assistant in 2017. This time around, you go as a head coach. I'm sure that experience was big time.
Oh, yeah. It definitely a different experience. Similar feeling though. We really wanted to win for our university, our program, our players. But it was a different experience, just because my workload was obviously different, But yeah, fantastic opportunity. I'm just so happy for all my players.
Coach, Robbie kind of hit on it. 5 straight elimination games. That's kind of unheard of. What'd you tell your group, saying, all right, we gotta focus up, we gotta lock back in, and we're gonna try to do this thing. What's something that you tell your guys during that run to just get them fired up and get them ready for that run?
I just reminded them. We had a 19-game winning streak this season, and I reminded them that we've lost games before. We've won in streaks. And so that's kind of where I wanted their mindset was, hey, it's just one game, no big deal. We've strung them together before.
Yeah, next question for you, Coach. This being your second year as a traveling 1 seed there in the open round, last year, of course, going up to Lewiston, and then this year going to Fayette, and what was an incredible opening round tournament, both with with Central Methodist, the host team, and then to the Tabor Blue Jays, who took you to the if necessary game. That experience traveling on the road and being the 1 seed back-to-back years, how did that help prepare your squad for ultimately lifting that red banner at the end of this season?
I mean, I think it plays a role. We have a lot of new guys on our team who didn't get a chance to experience it, but for the core guys in the infield, I thought that experience of being in a hotel and having to play at a high level really helped them. And I mean, those top 4 hitters in our lineup who were there last year really performed for us in the World Series.
Hey, Coach. First off, I'd like to thank you for taking the time to speak with us. We really appreciate it. But like you
Absolutely.
said, coming on that 19-game win streak earlier in the year, losing that GSAC title game to Jessup was a tough one. But how were the boys able to bounce back from that going into the opening round and then obviously into Lewiston?
I think our program goal is always win a national title. We don't go into the year thinking about the conference tournament or even a regional. We know that's part of the territory. Our goal always is to win a national title. So I think when we dropped that game, our guys were pretty focused, still saying, "Hey, we have more baseball to go. Don't worry about it. Let's have a short-term memory and get ready to go to battle."
Coach, one of the big things that we saw during the tournament was that top part of the lineup be so explosive. I want to talk a little bit about the MVP of the World Series in JJ Cruz and just the type of player that he is and the special ability that we saw. I mean, we were talking about him being the World Series MVP, win or lose, starting like the 3rd inning of that game, winner take all national championship game. He had a really special World Series, but the whole thing was he didn't just have a special World Series. He had been doing that all year.
Yeah, I mean, he's been one of our top hitters, one of our leaders. He scuffled a little bit in the conference tournament, but we just reminded him that we thought he was one of the best players in the country, and he has the ability to take games over. And man, he was unbelievable in the World Series. I mean, again, that being my 2nd World Series ever, but that was one of the best displays at the plate I've ever been a part of.
Last question for you. I'll take this one unless somebody's got another one after. But the GSAC now won back-to-back national titles. We've seen a little bit of a West Coast exodus in a lot of ways, but the GSAC still strong as ever. Y'all are coming back next year, ready to roll. You're losing some power in that conference, but what can you say about the conference going forward, just in the fact that it has won back-to-back national titles?
I mean, I think back-to-back titles is special for any conference. Our conference is still strong. Masters has been to the World Series. Arizona Christian being out there this year. Embry-Riddle had a great year and was in a regional in Ottawa. So the conference is really strong. We're excited about where the conference is headed. We just want to continue to show the rest of the country that there's really good baseball being played in California and Arizona.
At one point in the season, we had multiple GSAC teams really early in the year inside of the media poll, and I remember somebody telling me you're insane. And I feel like we've been, for quite a few years, and I've talked about this before. Is the GSAC on a national level since Concordia won the national championship in 2016, it had floundered a little bit, but it still found a lot of great success in teams getting to the opening round, teams getting to the World Series. They just didn't have that major national tournament success at the World Series. Yourselves and of course last year with Westmont have really turned that around. We're starting to see that big change happen where the GSAC, where we already know it's talent-wise a top 5 conference, coming through over and over and again here back-to-back national titles. But Coach, congratulations. You are our 2024 NAIA Ball Coach of the Year. Anything you want to say on that before we let you go? Anybody you want to thank?
I want to thank all you guys and everyone who voted. It's huge for me and my family and Hope International University and our program. And I'm very, very thankful that for this opportunity. So thank you guys.
Absolutely, Coach. We will let you go. I know it's a little bit earlier on the West Coast than it is here in deep South Texas, but we'll let you go and maybe even get some dinner and go about your day as the 2024 NAIA Ball National Coach of the Year. You're also the first coach to win a national title and win the award.
Awesome.
So yes, we usually don't, we usually have a bigger debate, but this year you're looking at the 4 voters. It was a unanimous selection, and we are 100% in agreement that you are deserving of that award. So Larry, man, thank you for taking some time out of your day to join us.
Absolutely. Thank you guys for having me. I appreciate it.
So that is Coach Larry Mahoney with us here on the NAIA Ball podcast. Congratulations to him on winning the award of National Coach of the Year for NAIA Ball. Connor, I'll let you handle business. I know you're probably clicking all sorts of buttons, moving left, right, in and out. But Larry Mahoney is the National Coach of the Year. He's the first ever national champion to win the award for us. We usually, guys, we have teams that make big seasons. You had a lot of different ways that you can go, but I think HIU having the year that they did, solid all year round, getting to the World Series, dropping that first game, and then coming all the way back, really solidified things.
Yeah, I'll speak to that right now. We're really solidified here. I'll speak on my vote for Coach Mahoney there. What really solidified it for me was being able to go on that 5-game elimination win streak in Lewiston. That's about as tough as it can get, really. And, coming out, losing that first game, and then you got to think that's got to be kind of demoralizing for a team, kind of disheartening there. So kudos to him for really rallying the troops there and getting the boys going when they needed to be going.
Absolutely. Connor, are you ready? We're ready for Pitcher of the Year?
Yes. I will put the finalist up right now.
All right, let's throw those finalists up right now and take a look at who those finalists are. And so those finalists are going to be, and I'm pausing for time because I'm waiting for it to come up on my screen because I don't remember who we put on the graphic, but I have all 6 of them there. There we go. Now I have it opened up. So it is going to be Isaac Rohde from LSU Shreveport. I hope I got that right. I know he's told me how to say it like 17 times. Blake Payton from Tennessee Wesleyan. Cesar Avila from the University of the Cumberlands. Blaine Hooter from Weber International. Andrew Herbert from Reinhardt. And Darian Smith from Southeastern. Tyler, you want to start us off? You were a starting pitcher yourself. This is an elite group here, the highest of the ERAs being a 2.85. All of these guys made at least 15 appearances this season, and all of them threw over 80 innings.
Yeah, elite of the elite here. We got to see 4 of these guys pitch in the big stage in Lewiston, and that was an absolute pleasure. I know Taylor was real excited for that game between Peyton and Herbert, and it really was a well-pitched game, but just a dominating year for everybody on this list here. You can't really say it. You can't really say much more than that. All these guys performed to their fullest potential and just lights out all year.
Taylor, I mean, this is a group that strikeouts were this was a huge group for strikeouts.
Yeah, all 6 of these guys really. I mean, with Blake Payton finishing the year with that run in Lewiston as the national strikeout leader, Darian Smith has been atop of every pitching leaderboard, I feel like, throughout his career at Southeastern. And then Blaine Hooter, of course, the other arm in the Sun Conference that real quietly was honestly toe-to-toe with Darian Smith all year long. He finishes top 5 nationally in ERA. Went over 6 innings, I believe, in every single start. All 6 of these guys really have defined the true definition of an ace. And like Tyler said, we saw that in that matchup with Blake Payton and Andrew Herbert there in Lewiston. And all 6 of these guys had incredible years. Avila, to be in the Mid-South Pitcher of the Year out of the University of the Cumberlands. This has been an incredible season for pitching, and these 6 guys really defined that and very deserving of these finals here.
Connor, let's go ahead and announce our 2024 National NAIA Ball National Pitcher of the Year, and that pitcher is Darian Smith from Southeastern University with a 1.87 ERA, 16 starts, 12-0 record, 96 1/3 innings pitched. 60 hits, 20 earned runs, 21 strikeouts, and 130 punch outs. Joining us now from somewhere is Darian Smith. Darian, where are you joining us from, bud?
I'm up here in Cape Cod right now, in Brewster.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. How dare it bother you while you're at the Cape? Darian, man, first off, congratulations. That is absolutely massive for you to be able to say that you are the NAIA ball pitcher of the year and just an absolute massive season for you. We are excited for you. I mean, I'm sure that you're excited for yourself.
Yeah, most definitely. I really appreciate it, and I appreciate you guys having me on for sure.
Taylor?
Guys, so one of the things that we'll do here, as I had a little bit of a lag spike there, sorry.
Yeah.
One of the things that we'll do here, like Tyler said earlier, I'm connected to the Walmart down on 2nd Street. I'm using their internet. But Darian, you know, you see a lot of great programs in the Sun Conference week in, week out as well. The schedule that you had this season at Southeastern was one of the best in the nation, if not the best in the nation. Talk about the opponents that you have faced, not just in Lewiston, but also around the nation and in the Sun Conference.
Yeah, I mean, even last year, you know, my first year being in NAIA, it was definitely eye-opening for sure. And then this year, I felt like every time I started on the mound, I was either getting somebody ranked or somebody receiving votes or just a quality team. And so I had to be locked in every single start. And honestly, I think that helped push myself ultimately throughout the whole year.
Darian, you know, kind of looking at some of the finalists that we had here, you know, Isaac Rohde from LSUS, Blake Payton from Tennessee Wesleyan, Cesar Avila from Cumberland, Huter from Weber, and then Herbert from Reinhardt. You know, what's it mean to be compared to these guys that, I mean, you look at these guys and it's the top 6 in this level.
Yeah.
You know, what's it like to be, you know, a finalist with them and, you know, take the award?
Yeah, I mean, they're all dogs. I've got to see Huter throw twice last year and this year. He competes every time he throws. I got to see Peyton throw in the World Series. Really quality arm. Me and Isaac Rohde have exchanged like Twitter DMs throughout the year, like, you know, keeping up with each other and whatnot. I mean, I'm just thankful, man. I worked really hard, and I know all 5 of those guys work really hard as well. So to come out on top is really cool. I really could have gotten it either one of us too, because all 6 of us had great years.
Absolutely.
I'll hop in here next. Unless Robbie, you want to go?
No, please, by all means.
Okay. Darian, what's up, man? Pleasure to be speaking with you here. Obviously, congrats on a great year. Another great year for you. I kind of want to know, what is your kind of mindset or approach going into these high intensity games, and kind of what is your, I guess, pregame routine kind of look like, right? Because we all have our
Yeah.
own things that kind of help lock us in. So kind of curious to know what yours was.
So, I mean, the biggest thing that I do before every start, before any time I touch the mound, it's cliche to say, but I always pray. You know, it really helps me like calm my nerves, and you know, God's always he just comes through for me even when I don't have it, you know. So that's the biggest thing. And then mentally, I tell myself, just go out and dominate, just go do what you do. Fill the zone. I mean, as they say, 7 out of the 10 times, you know, they're going to get themselves out. So if you just throw strikes and fill up the zone, it's really hard to get beat.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and Darian, one question for you here, and once again, congratulations on another incredible year. You've done it since you came over from FGCU. Now you and Danny both, and last year you were also in the Cape after your first year at Southeastern. Last offseason, what did you kind of work on, especially at the Cape, being the elite level of summer collegiate baseball that it was, and were able to take into 2024 and able to improve on your stellar year last year, and then ultimately follow that up with another incredible season?
Yeah, that's a great question. So last summer, obviously coming up here, you know, the Cape has its hype, the summer league, you know, top of the top talent. So definitely getting up here, you know, I'm the little fish in the big pond, you know. And so I definitely had a little bit of nerves going in, but after my first start, after I got a little bit more confidence on me up here, you know, it really showed myself like, all right, like you can do this. Like you're facing the top of the top, and you're still doing what you do. And I think ultimately, like, that last summer gave me the confidence to come into this past spring to be like, all right, it's time to go dominate. Like, it's time to really, like, keep the gas down. You know what I mean? Keep the pedal down. And I had a lot of confidence coming into this year. Even at the beginning of the year, I told Doza and Dinko, I was like, hey man, like, I want to win a ring. Like, that's obviously the number one goal, like, was for us to win a national championship. But I think I have a real shot at getting pitcher of the year this year. And, that was one of my big goals this year personally. So, I was just happy I was able to accomplish that for sure.
Darian, I love that answer because that's the little fishy answer, because it's the truth in anything you do going forward, no matter what your career is. Whether you're playing baseball or you're into the corporate world, and I think the other four guys can sympathize with this, is you're always going to be the kid from Southeastern. I'm always going to be the kid from Kaiser, the kid from McPherson, the kid from Southwestern Christian, the kid from Columbia. You're always going to be that. And you go into a job interview and everybody's from, at least in my case, Texas and MIT and Harvard and, these massive schools. And you're like, man, should I be here? And in every sense of the word, you do belong. You do belong. There's great talent at this level. Not all of it goes professional in baseball, but there is great talent at this level. And I think that is why we continue to do this, is for guys that make that point right there, that understand, exactly what this is as a whole. Man, we are so excited for you. The 2024 NAIA Ball Pitcher of the Year. Before we let you go, anybody that you want to thank, any final thoughts on this award?
First, just thank you, man. Thank you guys. It really means a lot that you named me the pitcher of the year. I worked really hard for it. I definitely want to thank Dinkle and, the staff at Southeastern, and ultimately God, for sure. So yeah, I just want to say thank you guys, and, I really appreciate it.
Congratulations again, Darian, man. We'll let you go. Enjoy the Cape, continue to do great work, and just continue to get after it each and every day. Just
Sure.
Absolutely excited for you. We definitely appreciate you joining the show.
Yes, sir. Thanks again.
Absolutely. So that is the 2024 NAIA Ball Pitcher of the Year in Darian Smith. Again, a 1.87 ERA in 16 starts, a 12-0 record in 96 and a third innings pitch. He had 130 strikeouts in those innings, a whip of below 1 at 0.84, and a batting average against of just 188, and opponents having just 2.7 hits per 9 off of him. Special player, special year. Guys, are we ready to go over our final award of the night, the Lou Brock Player of the Year award? Yeah, all right.
Ready to roll.
Connor, are you ready? Because you're the only ready that I'm looking for.
Yep, it is on screen now.
Fantastic. So, our finalists for the 2024 Lou Brock Player of the Year award, it is going to be Charlie Muniz from Cumberland's, Kentucky, who had an absolutely incredible season, hitting .392 with 89 hits, 56 runs, 101 RBIs, 10 doubles, 36 home runs, 46 extra base hits, total bases of 207, a 98 runs created, an ISO of 520, and an OPS here as I scroll across the screen of 1.401, a special year. The next finalist is Blaze O'Savin from Georgia Gwinnett, who hit .443 with 109 hits, 116 runs, 83 RBIs, 45 total extra base hits, including 18 doubles, 13 triples, 14 home runs, 195 total bases, 101 runs created for his club, a 350 ISO, which is how many extra base hits he got per, like, a batting average for power, an OBP of 533, and a OPS of 1.326. AJ Sipkowski, the reigning Lou Brock Player of the Year award, is back again. 427 average, 91 hits, 89 runs, 96 RBIs, 23 doubles, 2 triples, 21 home runs, 46 total extra bases, 181 total bases, 94 runs created for his club, an ISO of 423, and a 1.393 OPS. And then last but not least, Drew Berrigan from Embry-Riddle, Arizona, hit 448 with 95 hits, 60 runs, 94 RBIs, 32 doubles, 1 triple, and 16 home runs. He would actually lead this group with 49 extra base hits, 177 total bases, 89 runs created for his club, at 387 ISO, and an OPS of 1.085. Guys, this group is stacked.
Yeah, this is a pretty special group here. The name that really jumped off the bat to me, because he really jumped off the page all year for us. I know me and Taylor talked about him numerous times on the podcast. Drew Berrigan, just absolute backbone of that offense all year, and the numbers he put up this year were actually pretty ridiculous.
Yeah, man, Berrigan was unbelievable for Embry-Riddle all year long. The national leader in doubles, as a 32 doubles is an absurd stat to think about, and then doing it with the high average that he did is a big reason why they were able to punch their ticket into the national tournament. And then you have the duo of Blazo Sabin and AJ Stepkowski stealing bags left and right. Just incredible dynamic ball players, all 4 of these guys. And then, of course, Charlie Muniz, too. I mean, the numbers speak for itself there. 36 home runs. That's some untouchable stuff right there. So an incredible season for all 4 of these guys. And really was a treat to watch all 4 play all season long.
Robbie,
This
before
was-
before
yeah.
we announce this, I'd like for you to speak a little bit on, the name of this award. How.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So two thoughts on that really quickly. This was the second place award in which we had the most debate over who would win. Ultimately, what it came down to for me was the sabermetrics. This is one of the awards that we go really in depth on the sabermetrics. We look at the runs created, we look at the ISO metric, and we pull OPS and a couple other things that we didn't go over. But it was the sabermetrics for me that made me change my mind a few times and pick. Ultimately, we went back and forth on this and we decided on a winner. And before we get into that winner, I want to go over why this is the Lou Brock Award. Several years ago, with Connor in the fold, Cody and I had talked about wanting to start naming our awards. It only made sense that we name our awards after great players at this level. Well, we went after one of the biggest ones with no way to get a hold of the Lou Brock family. We reached out to the Baseball Hall of Fame. The Baseball Hall of Fame was extremely kind in allowing us contact information to the Brock family. We reached out to the Brock family and got their permission after many long months of discussions and making sure they understood who we were and what our plan was, and that we were not using his name as a means to do one thing or another, but instead to honor our level of baseball, and as well as one of the greatest players to ever play our level of baseball. Lou Brock won a national championship at Southern University. It is the only HBCU to ever win a national championship. He hit nearly 600 on that team that season, hitting into the 560s as a sophomore. And then, of course, went on into the major leagues to have an incredible career. It is our honor to be able to announce the Lou Brock Award in conjunction with the Lou Brock Foundation, and with a little help. None of this is possible without the Baseball Hall of Fame in Cooperstown, New York. With that, Connor, if you're ready, I'm ready. This was a fun one to discuss. It was a fun one to go over. It was an extremely grueling process, not as grueling as Reliever of the Year. That one we went back and forth on, but this was a grueling process because, unfortunately, all 4 of these guys are deserving. You can only have one winner. And our winner of the 2024 Lou Brock Award is Mr. Charlie Muniz from Cumberlands, Kentucky. Congratulations to Charlie Muniz. and he is joining us now. Charlie, man, welcome into the show. We'll let you get set up. We'll let you get in here. But Charlie, congratulations and welcome to the podcast. And congratulations as well on being named the 2024 NAI Ball Lou Brock Award Player of the Year. Congratulations.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Thank you guys for having me, and thank you for naming the Player of the Year by Lou Brock Foundation. Thank you.
Absolutely. I mean, just an incredible season for you. 101 RBIs. You had a great year at the plate with 36 home runs, 46 total extra base hits. You led a group of 4 of the best players in the country at this level in total bases with 207. I mean, talk about the season that you had at the plate.
Man, it was an unbelievable season. Not just me, like as a team, like we are be able to run it back to back to Lewiston. But yeah, I mean, for me, it was a great season. Thanks God for keeping me healthy and be able to help my team the way that I did behind the plate and offensively.
You know, Charlie, you know, we kept track of you all year. You know, we were doing the home run tracker. You know, you got close to the record of I believe it's 38 is the record.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we sit there and report scores every weekend, and it seemed like you were hitting a bomb every single time. You know, was that record ever on your mind? Did you go up there thinking, oh, I need to hit a bomb? You know, I've got this kind of within reach. You know, how did that factor into how you played, and you know, how much did that sit on your mind?
On the game, I don't think that's affect me on my game. I just, man, when I'm started like hitting my 30, you know, like it was like past the season record on the school, but I try to don't think on that. I just try to like enjoy my game, try to keep with my routine, and don't like thinking that I need to hit a home run. I just try to I just try to help the team the way that I can, and that's literally my thought process during this journey.
Charlie, what's up, man? Thanks for joining us. Really appreciate it. Really appreciate you taking the time out of your day to speak with us. Kind of touch off of that. We saw you step up to the plate in a lot of big moments for the Patriots this year. So kind of walk us through your mindset as you walk into these really high intensity at bats with a lot on the line, and just kind of how you're able to keep yourself calm throughout the entirety of the at bat.
Well, man, I'm not gonna lie. There was really tough moments this season, but you know, like I said, I just try to keep myself calm down. Just every time that I got a time or get a big breath and just like, you know, keep my brain in. I need to help the team the way that I can, even with a hit, home run, whatever. But my mind process always it was like try to help the team. Never like hit a home run or hit a like you know.
Yeah, and Charlie, the success you've had now finishing up your 3rd year here at Cumberland's kind of speaks for itself. I mean, 77 career homers now, I believe it is, and approaching some all-time marks as you now finish your 3rd year. And just kind of talk about the coaching staff and what Cumberland's has meant to you, being from Puerto Rico, playing JUCO ball now in the NAI, and making that second straight trip to Lewiston. Kind of touch on what Coach Shelton and Coach Martin have meant to your success as a baseball player now in college.
Oh man, well, I would say like Cumberland's, it was one of the best decisions that I ever made on my life. Not even like, it's just like a family for me. Like it feels like home. Coaches are treating me like a really good player. Also, like they treat me like their son. You know, like it was like a really good environment behind the school. This program means a lot for me, and be able to be here and play for them, for Coach Shelton, Coach Martin, Coach Bo. It's just a privilege for me, and be able to win this award. It means a lot. Obviously, that's a really personal goal for me, but I know it's gonna help the school too. And man, so excited with what's gonna happen with the school and what the school is doing right now. Be able to run it back to back to Lewiston, Idaho. So I know like moving forward, the school. Obviously, I want to win a natty, but I know if it's not next year, in a couple years forward, this school is gonna be like the national title.
Charlie, we you're in an elite group here. It's Blazo Saban, reigning player, or until we announced you the reigning player of the year, and AJ Sapkowski, and then Drew Berrigan from Embry-Riddle in Arizona. I mean, it's a special group. What does it mean just kind of for you moving forward? What do you take into the off season with you? What are you going to be doing this summer to get a little bit better, 1% better than maybe where you are now?
Well, now I'm playing summer league in the Old North League in North Carolina. So just keep making adjustments, and be ready for next season. I know these four guys. I know what they've been doing the whole season. They do an incredible job. So just this summer, keep myself and keep my brain on. Keep working hard and make a judgment for next year.
Charlie, before we let you go, anything you want to say to the people at home, maybe in Puerto Rico, anything like that you want to say, or anyone you want to thank? Now would be the perfect time.
Well, obviously, I want to thank. I'm so glad. I want to thank my family back home. They're. I know they're in the chat comment. So, guys, I love you so much. I'm not be able to go to Puerto Rico since last summer, so I missed them. But coaching staff, Cumberland's, and yeah, pretty much that. And thank you guys for having me, and thank you for naming the Blue Rock Player of the Year.
Charlie, un placer, and we are absolutely thrilled to have you here, man. So congratulations. We'll let you enjoy your night, and congratulations on being named the 2024 NAIA Ball Lou Brock Player of the Year in conjunction with the Lou Brock Foundation. Charlie, thank you.
Thank you so much, guys.
So that will be all of our awards for tonight. Guys, absolutely special night for us. This is the first time we've ever done something like this. I think that this has been, it's been a lot of fun. All NAIA ball team coming out tomorrow. If we didn't have debate now, we've got debate coming.
Yeah. It's
I mean, so here's what I'll say. Preemptive strike on the all NAIA ball team. They changed the name of and maybe they did it last year and I just wasn't paying attention. I have a habit of that, not paying attention to things that aren't ours. But they changed the name of honorable mention to third team. We will not have a third team. We will continue our tradition of two NAIA ball teams. We have added some positions. Why? Because we can. Pitching, I feel like there's so many great pitchers at this level. We wanted to make sure we got all of them. We also expanded the reliever spot to where it's not just one reliever. We've now included two relievers. Huge change. But now there are four relievers that we are going to recognize, as well as more pitchers. We, continue with tradition. We don't have two catchers. We have one catcher, which dramatically cuts down on the amount of catchers that are going to be named all NAIA ball. So this is a very tough and difficult thing that we do throughout the year. The one thing I will say is nobody watches more games than us here. I can tell you that we are constantly throughout the regular season watching games. I saw more Crossroads League baseball this season than I've ever seen in my life. I watched a ton of Goshen. I watched teams that people would tell me, I'm not going to say names, but people would tell me, why are you watching them? Well, you know what? They're on a freaking heater right now. They're 8-2 in their last 10. Do I want to vote for them? I need to see what they're looking like. I just can't put them, say, oh, you know what, on a piece of paper, or because their name's not a normal, player, we can't, we can't name them. It's insane to think that. Like, we're watching more games than ever. It is something that we take a lot of pride in, and we are super excited for our all NAIA ball teams to come out tomorrow, but they are always a point of contention and topics of discussion. It is going to be fun because we had been talking about it up until yesterday night. I mean, we've been going back and forth on it. We've been going back and forth on all NAIA ball for a week. there was a team that was put together and then I scrapped it. And then there was a team that was put together by somebody else. And then I took out 3 players and now here we are. So please blame me. And the other 3 guys are innocent.
Direct all
But
your hate mail to Rob G 1063
oh, stop
on
it right
Twitter.
now. Yeah, that's enough of that. Do not send me any hate mail. I have enough hate mail in my DMs.
I remember last year during the series we did a Twitter Spaces, and I can't remember what had happened, but you're like, direct all your hate mail to @GotDucks21. So there's my rebuttal. That I had to work that in there.
Do not send me hate mail. I get enough hate mail in the DMs as it is, and reading our NAIA ball DMs is a dark and the scary place.
Just know that if you were left off one of the teams, it's Robbie's fault.
Yeah.
Yeah, I personally said no. I hate your team.
Oh man.
I am Kendall Rogers.
Yep, just about to say it.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So, it's going to be a lot of fun. We're looking forward to it. This has been a lot of fun. It's gone a little bit longer than I know we originally intended, but this was worth it in every sense of the word to be able to talk about and wrap up our 2024 season. All NAIA ball released tomorrow. Congratulations to all of our award winners. Guys, before we go, the Astros start in 3 minutes. So Tyler, Taylor, Connor, in that order, go ahead and give us some final thoughts.
What a year. I know I touched on at the top of the hour here, but really blessed year for me, first year with the brand, and I think we're only going to be making bigger moves moving forward. But as always, the YouTube was fun. Everything we did this year content-wise was a blast. I know we have some pretty exciting off-season content planned that we'll be very excited to share with you shortly. So still keep in touch with us on X and Instagram, whatever you want. And especially don't forget about our YouTube here. Always like, comment, subscribe, as your favorite streamer would tell you to do.
Yeah, same here. Just an incredible year one that we had, both me and Tyler here at the brand, and joining the team. And couldn't be more grateful for that and the continued success that we have with all the things that we have planned for the future here. It's been incredible to get out and meet all of you guys face to face, whether that be coaches, players, supporters, parents, crazy parents, everyone in general. It's been a really, really fun 2024, and I can't wait for 2025.
Yeah, just first off, I'd like to thank everybody that's tuned in to all of our stuff and support us all year. I'd like to shout out our sponsors again. Playing Sports, the Show Me League, Netting Pros, EJ from Airform. I'd also like to thank Spencer Farron Photo. He hooked us up with photos for the World Series so we could post updates and all that. So big shout out to him. But no, just it's another year, and we made some great strides, like I said earlier. But I just can't wait to start on some of the summer content, get prepping for next year, and it'll be here before we know it. And like Norris said, stay tuned to our YouTube, stay tuned to all of our social medias. We've got some cool projects coming up in the summer. We're also going to be opening probably a few more intern positions. I think we hit on that a little bit earlier, but
yeah,
we're gonna look at some different spots. I'm not sure what all we got planned, but we're gonna have a few more spots open. So if you're interested in that, just be on the lookout for that. And I'm excited for 2025. Bring it on. I'm already ready. So Robbie, take it away.
Yeah, I mean, we are thrilled, and be on the lookout for those intern spots. We are definitely going to be opening up more positions and having more hands as we continue to grow the website. We have so many ideas that we want to do for that, YouTube, all of that, and it's a lot of fun to see how much we've grown in this past year. And we continue to do all of this. I do all of this, for my friend Cody Butler, the founder of NAIA Ball, and these guys are here because of what he created. And maybe they didn't know him super personally like I did, like Connor did, but these guys are here. These people are watching because of what he created. And we are absolutely. He would have hated this today. He hated video.
Yeah.
He would have been so pissed off to be doing this, but he would have pushed through it. And so I think about that man every day and miss him every day. And he's the whole reason why I do this. That's why we continue to grow as much as we do, because I've doing all this for him. And so that carries us forward, and we have more and more plans to grow every season, with Cody constantly on our minds and in our hearts. With that, I do want to thank Jake Huffman, the official statistician of NAIA ball, for all he's done. I want to thank Taryn over at the Lewiston Tribune for all of his help this year, as well as all of our media poll partners this season. I want to thank Noah Sharp over at the JBB for all of his help this year as well. And then on top of that, I want to thank our interns again, Milan, who is going to stay in country for another year. He is from the Netherlands. He's going to coach next season in JUCO ball. I want to say he told me only Central. So we are excited for him in that venture, and we hope that he is able to find sponsorship. And if his path is to stay here in the country, I hope if he wants to do that and coach baseball, I hope he continues to do that. If he wants to go home and start his life like a lot of us have to do, we hope he stays close to the game and his program of Oakland City. We want to thank our other intern, Connor. Would you like to thank yours in all he's done this year?
Yeah, just thank you, Max. I don't know if you're watching, but thank you for your hard work this year. I'd like to say we're done with work for now, but we're about to start up summer content, so I don't think we really we really never have an off season, but
there is no off season. It's just a little less busy.
Yeah. So
our off season is no scores to report.
Amen
that
to
is
that.
Yeah, that's what I'm most excited about. It's just one of those things that so thank you, Max, that we're excited to do and continue to move forward. So that'll do it for us here. We thank you for joining the broadcast. For Tyler Norris, Taylor Thomas, Connor Darnell, I'm Robbie Gutierrez, and of course, for Cody Butler and the entire Butler family, we thank you for being part of our family, as well as our broadcast, and for continuing to support the brand. Thank you to all of our sponsors as well. Brock at Play in Sports, the Show Me League, Will from Netting Pros, and EJ from Aeroform. That'll wrap up our 2024 season with awards. The regular season is done. The preseason is way done. Happened in 2023, and all of our postseason content. We thank you for being part of our family, and we're excited to have you for our summer content as well as our look ahead to 2025. Until next time, you can find all of your new stat scores and information at NAIA Ball on X and Instagram, and of course right here, like, subscribe here on YouTube. And until then, we hope you have a great day and an even better tomorrow.